What you should be eating to get under 10% body fat. I am exactly 30 days out from my first natural men's physique competition. I'm literally gonna show you everything that I eat to get under 10% body fat. I'm gonna show you all the supplements I'm taking, every meal that I'm having, and exactly the processes that I'm following so that I can get under 10% body fat. If you're at 20%, or if you're at 15%, or even at 30%, it's the exact same process. However, the only difference is the amount of calories that I'm eating. But what I'm gonna do now, the first thing I do in the morning is I take my daily supplements, and I am also fasted. And right after I take these supplements, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna get into my fasted cardio, and I'm gonna show you every process. So I will show you everything I'm taking. One multivitamin. All right. When you're sub 2,000 calories, you always want to have a multivitamin because it's very likely that you're not getting enough of your micronutrients, right? I'm also taking coenzyme Q. I'm gonna have one pill of that. The multivitamin is a must for most, and I'm also taking a thyroid stack. Thyroid is one of the main axes of the metabolism. So this thyroid stack is just making sure that I have all the minerals and vitamins necessary so that my thyroid is optimal. I have 3 of these. I have this AM priming here. Honestly, I bought this to try it out. I don't feel any difference, but I will finish this stack here. So I have 4 of these pills here. Okay, and then I have 4 of the magnesium glycinates, which comes out 10 milligrams. And then for your CNS, central nervous system, magnesium glycinate. Now, for all of you guys may be asking, Dr. Mike, what should I take? You just need the multivitamin, and that's it. The multivitamin in this list is all that you need. Everything else, not necessary. I will also be honest, the reason I'm taking all of these pills is as experimentation. Before I give any recommendations, I always like trying it myself. So once a lot of these pills are finished, I won't be taking them again because I sometimes try it out myself before I recommend them to any of my clients. So magnesium glycinate is perfect. This will help you stay asleep and also help you stay relaxed for your CNS, and the multivitamin. The rest, not necessary. And on this note, how much water should you be drinking? You want, at minimum, to drink half of your body weight in ounces. So if you're 200 pounds, you want to drink 100 ounces of water minimum. Or if you're 300 pounds, you need 150 ounces minimum. But between 100 ounces or a gallon of water a day, that's going to be incredible for you. It will help you with the metabolism, it'll help you with your blood circulation, it will help you with everything. A lot of the times as well, you're not really hungry, you're just thirsty. So make sure that you're drinking enough water, and a gallon is the easy way to remember, or half of your body weight in ounces. I'm gonna go downstairs and get some cardio in, so let's go for that. Why I do morning cardio is to manage my fatigue, because if you do it all in one shot, you're gonna get very tired throughout the day. So separating cardio sessions, I'm gonna do 45 minutes now, and you'll also see that I'm wearing a waist belt, and a lot of you guys may be asking, Dr. Mike, why? Basically, long story short, I wanna sweat from my midsection, and also I wanna improve the temperature, the heat in my midsection. So I'm gonna get here, get my heart rate between 120 beats to 140 beats per minute. I'm just gonna lock in for 45 minutes for my cardio. And also I prefer fasted cardio. That fasted cardio for me is the best cardio. And that's just personal preference, no science behind it. So I'm at 6 kilometers per hour, which is about 3 to 4 miles per hour. And I'm slowly gonna raise the incline until I get my heart rate to where I need it to be. My macros are 200 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat, and 200 grams of carbs. I'm gonna show you the process I go through when I wanna really track everything that I'm gonna have. And ideally, it's best to do this before or the night before, so you know exactly what you're gonna eat in the exact quantity. So I know I definitely want an egg meal in there with some bread. I definitely want like a pho meal, like a soup meal, which I'll show you. But I'm just gonna show you everything that I track and how I play around with my macros. This is where we open the fridge and we have a look at the things that we can have. So as a snack, I definitely want, right, it's a Chobani Fit Greek yogurt with 15 grams of protein. So I'm gonna click on scan barcode, and then I'm gonna scan that. I'm gonna have one of these. And I'm gonna have the jellos with it. And these jellos basically have 0 calories. So I'm not gonna track the jello that I'm gonna have. You're gonna see which meal I make. One of the meals that I want is a egg white based meal with some sandwiches in there, some bread thins or bread slices. So I'm gonna take the bread and I'm also gonna scan that. So I'm just gonna scan that here as breakfast. It doesn't really matter. And guys, and the way to think about it is that we're just putting things down in our diary. We're literally just quote unquote tracking our thoughts. So it says here, one slice is 67 grams, right? So about 178 calories per slice, right? So I'm gonna change that. It's okay, here it's tracking it for 70 grams. So I'm gonna have 4 slices. I'm gonna track 4 slices. Maybe I'll have more. So 4 slices of bread, that's tracked in there. And then I'm gonna have whole eggs. Whole egg, I'm just gonna have 1 whole egg. And then I'm gonna have egg whites with that, egg whites. I'm gonna see, so if I take 7 large eggs, 7, that's going to give me 25 grams worth of protein. And then each one of those breads that I'm gonna have is gonna have some cheese. There's cheese in here, so I'm gonna track that as well. Scan. And let's see, how many in one? Because I need 4, I'm gonna have 4 of these. So I'm just gonna go per gram. So it's 16.6 grams in one. 16.6 multiplied by 4, so 66.4. So I'm gonna track your 66.4. So the way I think of tracking calories is that I have a certain amount of money in my bank account and I wanna be able to use all of it at the end of the day and make sure I'm getting the bang for my buck. So I'm kind of figuring out, hey, what am I gonna spend at the grocery store? So I have 4 of that. I have 827 left. I have 121 grams of protein, 16 fat, 55 carbs. So I'm also gonna show you guys this. Something that I'm gonna have is pho. And if you guys don't know, it's a Vietnamese soup that I love having. So we have like some extra protein here, and this is the actual soup itself. And this is just basically beef broth. And here we have bean sprouts and different mixed veggies. This is 0 calories, so I'm not gonna count that. And I'm gonna have 2 servings of that. So this is basically 0 calorie. I'm gonna figure out what the macros are for this soup. And then I'm gonna have the soup. The only difference is I'm not gonna have the pasta, because this pasta is full of carbohydrates. And what I'm gonna have instead, I'm gonna have cognac noodles instead of these noodles that are placed in here. Basically, I'm gonna show you guys how to track this. So obviously there's no macros here. And what to do, right? When you get something like this, you order it from a grocery store or wherever, what do you do to track? The best way to go about it is to look at the average of everything. I'm just gonna Google search macros, right? Just to see what they are. So from what I'm seeing here, per 245 grams, there's about 47 calories. So very little calories. So basically, right, in 1 cup is 245 grams and that's 45 calories. Let's see how much is in this. It's about 400, so just a little bit under. And the macros in this one says 0.8 grams of fat, 3.2 grams of protein, and 7.8 grams of carbs according to this here. So I'm gonna go into my MyFitnessPal and I'm gonna click on lunch and I'm gonna click here and I'm just gonna search what it comes up with. Pho broth only. So let's see, it's saying 1 cup. So in 1 cup, it's 47 calories. How much is in one? So I'll track it. So it's 407 grams in fluid ounce. So let's see what that gives us. So 407 grams is equal to 14.3 ounces. Yeah, so that's about accurate. This is about accurate. So we finally found it. So we're gonna go pho broth only. And here, right, is 14 ounces. So 407 grams in ounces. 407 grams in ounces. Okay, so 14.37, and with both, because I'm gonna have both, so with both of them, that's 809. So 809 gives us 28.53 ounces. I'm gonna go here and 28.5 ounces. That comes out to 167 calories, and that's pretty accurate, right? So normally if I want to see if something has fats, if you ever poured oil into water, you see like the little bubbles, right? So you can see that this barely has or no fats at all. So in these 2 packets is 27.8 carb, 2.9 fat, 10.7 grams of protein. I will buy that. I'm pretty confident in that. And then the last thing that I really want to track is the protein in there. Now, what I want to track, I'm going to track the protein source. So I'm going to track this as lean beef. As you guys can see, it's just lean protein. 80 grams. So that's 118 grams. So you see, that's all the protein in there. And that's what I love about the soup. It's like, it'll be very filling. So 159 grams of lean beef. And now to this, I'm gonna add lean beef and search. Click on this one. Per 100 grams, it's 1.5. So I'm gonna put here 1.59. So that's all the protein in there. And then finally, I'm gonna add cognac noodles just to show you guys what that looks like. It's these noodles. And just so you see what the macros are, I'm gonna add this and scan barcode. Scanning barcode, 200 grams in drained weight, right? So I'm gonna have 2 of these. So it's 400 grams. I'm gonna put that as a 4. And basically, so you guys see what it looks like, I'm gonna have 2 of these just to give it more volume. Because this is cognac noodles, it's very high fiber. Do not have more than 1, I would recommend, but because I'm a beast, I can have 2. So that's 400 grams of drained weight, and that comes out to 20 calories. That's what I love about these, is that these are only 10 calories a pop. That's that. And now, with that all tracked, right, I have 449 calories. So let me see. What I love having is my ice cream. So let's see. I'm just gonna put this as dinner. I'm gonna scan. So this is 260 calories, right? Per pint, 1.473. This is gonna give me 31 grams of carbs, 4 fat, and 24.1 grams of protein, right? As you can see, per pint is 24 grams of protein, 4 grams of fat, and 20 grams of fiber. So then I'm gonna check that. And literally, all I have left, 1 gram of fat, I'm over by my carbs by 9, and 57 grams of protein. So I still need a bit of protein hit. So usually, what we wanna do here, I'll be showing you this image I have here. It's a macro Venn diagram that you're seeing on the screen. And this is how sometimes I'll decide to be like, okay, Mike, what can you have to fit into your diet a bit better? What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have 2 shakes instead as a meal replacement just before I go to bed. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have 2 shakes, and I'm gonna track that right now. I'm gonna scan for the isopept. So let's go here, add snack, scan barcode, and I'm gonna go there. And then 1 scoop gives me 27 grams. I'm gonna put 2 scoops. It says I'm over by 72 calories, which is okay. It's not a train wreck. It does say my carbs are a little high. So let's see what I can do. The most logical thing is to reduce 1 slice of bread. But I'm gonna leave it there, right? And then I'll decide if I'm gonna go over by the 15 grams. I'm supposed to have 67. 67 times 4, 67 times 4 gives us 268. 268. So let me just track everything a bit closer. All right, so I'm over by 40 calories, which I'm fine with. I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm happy. I'm gonna take that to the bank. Voila, all of that tracked. So what I'm gonna make now, because I'm gonna have it later, is the jello. But that's prepared, and let me just show you guys. I'm just gonna prepare this bowl to have everything in it. And then all I need to do is mix the soup with it later when I'm ready. And I'm just gonna take the bean sprouts. I'm gonna leave the pasta there, that's just carbs. I'm gonna replace it with this, smart. And then here we're adding the second bowl's ingredients. Again, all of this stuff is virtually 0 calories, so no need to track. So all the ingredients are in there. I almost forgot, I have these as well to add a bit more volume. Nice. So that's how you track something that you've ordered out. It does take a bit more time to figure things out in terms of calculating macros, but it gives you a lot more flexibility, which is what I love about tracking. So if you're someone who's very busy and you're traveling a lot, tracking is always gonna be the best for you because it gives you the highest level of flexibility. But that's all tracked. I'm just gonna cover this, because I'm gonna have it later. I'm gonna have this for dinner. And what I love about having this for dinner is it keeps me so full. Before I head to the gym, I'm gonna prepare the jelly. Very, very easy. Now, you can use Jello if you just search it on Amazon. It's about 10 calories a pop, very, very macro friendly. And I love adding Jellos in when I am on lower calories. So anything under 2,000 calories, right? So, how to prepare, right? So pour jelly into 100 milliliters of cold water. So let's do that. I'm gonna put 100 mils of cold water. 107, good enough. I'm gonna pour that, and then I need to stir until it's fully dissolved. And now we stir. Now that's fully dissolved. And then I'm gonna add 400 milliliters of boiling water. So here we have boiling water. We need to add 400 mils. 420, 435, that's also okay. You can already see it has a bit of a gelatin consistency. Now we can place it in the fridge. I'm gonna have it later. Perfect. So, food's prepped, basically, and now we're headed to the gym. So I'm gonna show you guys a little secret of mine, but don't tell anyone, okay? So if you want a pre-workout, but it's past midday, it's 3:17, I'm finally gonna go, I've filmed ads, I've done a bunch of stuff. Then, I always recommend going for decaffeinated coffee, because research has shown it has similar effects of blunting hunger and giving you energy, right? But without the caffeine. So that might be psychological, but I've felt that it's extended my fast for much longer. So I'm gonna have a decaffeinated coffee. It's coffee just without the caffeine, which is the active ingredient that will prevent you from sleeping. So I'm gonna have one of these and then train. And just to cool it down, I'm gonna add just a little bit of cold water. Again, just to give it a bit more volume, and this will be my pre-workout before the gym. So we're gonna start with abs first. That's one of the main things that we wanna focus on. So we're gonna do one trunk rotation to focus in on the obliques, and then we're gonna do any crunch that's gonna focus on the entire abs. So I'm gonna go on here and do trunk rotation. Set 2 trunk rotation to focus in on the obliques. Second ab exercise, we're going to use a weighted crunch, 3 sets between 12 and 15. With abs, usually they take about 30 seconds for recovery. So very, very short breaks between. So the first exercise is gonna be cable lateral raises using cuffs, right? So I'll show you guys exactly how we wanna do that. That is going to target our medial delt, and you'll see how much more it's activated. What we like about cables is that it will maintain the tension on the medial delt throughout the entire movement. So first point here, we wanna take the pulley to where we are virtually at knee height, right? So at about knee height. So that's usually a 5 for me on these. And then I want to put bench at 15 degrees. So we'll put that here. So the first set is going to be lateral raises, and we're going to go between 12 and 15 reps. We're going to go light, and then we're going to go our heaviest set, and then we're going to go our lightest set between 15 and 20. So the first set, 12 to 15. We're now going for set 2, the heaviest. We're gonna go between 8 and 12. So I'm gonna increase the weight. So let me show you guys how to set this up. You wanna cross them, right? So you want it this way. I'll insert my one hand here until like almost at my elbow. Grab it, put it in this direction, and you just wanna hold it firm here. And then you're gonna take this one. And you can also, you don't have to pull it. You can even just grab it here and then just pull, get into position, lay in position, and here we go. And this is how you put it back. First this one, we put this one here, release. Delt's already feeling popped, and you can see the medial delt accentuating there, which is a good sign. A pump is usually a good sign that you hit the target muscle the right way. So shoulders are on fire. Now we're gonna go to 30 to 40 degree dumbbell incline press. Perfect. Now we're going to go on to the chest movement. Now, the chest anatomically is just the pectoralis. However, in terms of training, we like to break it down in 3 parts. We have our upper pec, or we can call it the clavicular part, which is attached to the clavicle. We have the middle pec, right, which we can say is the sternal part, which is mainly attached to the sternum. And then we can say the lower pec, which is mainly attached to our ribs, right? So what we want to focus on in the upper pec, and to do that, it just depends on the degree we put ourselves on. So it's always going to be based off of center of gravity. So if you're doing a flat bench, the center of gravity is going to be maximized here. When you put your bench at a certain degree, you can change the angle so that the center of gravity can target more the upper, and then the same when you're hitting a lower degree, you can target the lower part of your pec and more so stimulate the lower fibers. So now we're going to stimulate the upper pec, 6 to 9 reps. We're going to choose a heavier weight. We'll set ourselves between 30 and 45. I'm going to get it right to 30. We're gonna go to dumbbell shoulder press. We're gonna hit it at that incline.
And first set between 6 and 9. Shoulder press. Keep your core tight. I don't want you to press out here. The further the weight is away from your chest, the more compromise you put your shoulder girdle, also your rotator cuff. So you want to bring it in as closely as possible. So I like to press at this angle, right? And I almost don't want them out. I want the dumbbells almost pointed inwards, not almost, definitely pointed inwards. And we want to drive up, contract, and then control how we bring the weight down. And remember, keeping elbows tight. So with this one, we want a basic flat Smith machine press. So I'm gonna put it to 15 degrees right here. It's almost flat. And what we like about Smith machine is that the path of the movement is controlled. So you'll feel a more concentrated activation of your muscle fibers as to where the degree is. So I'll give you a good example here. I'm gonna get on the bench. So have a look here, right? Now, with the incline press, we're more here, but because where the bench is, the center of gravity of the weight is going to be directly across where this bar is. And I like getting about thumb width from the knurling, and then this is where I'm going to press from. So we're now going to do a pec fly, cable pec flies, right? Or cable fly. And it's gonna be 3 sets between 12 and 15. With this movement, we want the weight to come across the chest, and we're trying to target the sternal fibers of the pec. Pec in general, fantastic chest finisher. Chest is done, now onto triceps. Okay, so for triceps, we're gonna do 2 godly tricep exercises, and they're all gonna involve a rope. What's amazing about the rope is that it puts your wrist in a favorable position, a natural position for you, right? So we want 2, we wanna hit it with the extendo. Go directly into the next exercise. Now this one, if you haven't tried, you have to do. If you ever want to improve your arm size, you'd be wise to train the triceps. The triceps, unlike the bicep, have 3 heads versus 2 heads. Tricep is a larger muscle. So if you want to grow your arm size, you want them to hug your shirt, you want to focus on these bad boys. Perfect. So we're going to make my first meal, which is omelet toast. You can buy egg whites in a carton, but they don't sell that where I live in Malaysia. So we're gonna do it the classic way. 7 eggs, right? 3. That's the 3rd egg out of 7. And then 1 full egg, 1 whole egg that we're gonna throw in here. And we're gonna beat it like Michael Jackson. I'm gonna add just a dash of milk just to make it a bit more creamy, but nothing really worth tracking. Just that. Pro tip. You don't want to use olive oil. Like the olive oil you spray around, you end up putting more than you need to. So spraying is always better. You can use Pam spray, olive oil, or you can use Fry Light 1 cal spray. So I'm just gonna cover the entire thing, get the corners, and that is more than enough. Now we're gonna add the egg. We want to get it a nice consistency. And that's prepared. Now we have the toast. And just to double check the weight, and I calculated 4, right? Change the unit to grams, 135, right? So I'm gonna take 2 toasts, keeps the middle part softer inside. So then I calculated to have 4 of these. The macros on this cheese is amazing if you're a cheese fan, right? So basically we're gonna have like 4 triangles, 4. And per triangle, we have 24 calories. So 2.5 grams of protein and 1.1 gram of fat, and then come out to be 1 gram of carb. I'm just gonna get it ready. And that toast should be ready. Cool. So what I like about doing it this way is the outer part is toasted, but the inner part is really soft. So I'm gonna put the cheese on this side. What I'm also gonna do is just add some of that cheese on top of the egg. Here we go. So I'm gonna add spice to it. my first liter of water. All right, so this is how we do it. San Pellegrino. And that's meal number 1. So, the macros of this meal is 650 calories, 70 grams of carbs, 16.8 grams of fat, and 51.9 grams of protein. And then I'm gonna have the water with this. I'm gonna dig in. Time for the good stuff. Came out of my meeting with my team and onboarded a new client. Let's make this soup. So let me drain these first. So we're gonna add the noodles here. I'm gonna add some more noodles. Noodles added. Now we're gonna add the soup. Now it's to add this glory. Need all of the nutrients. Let me mix this up a bit. Now, I'm just gonna put this in the microwave. Look at all that volume. You wanna add some Cholula? So the macros of the pho soup comes out to be 378 calories. That's including the cognac noodles, the beef, and the pho broth. And just for reference, this is a great meal. This is less than 400 calories for the size of my head, like bigger than this. So, I'm gonna have this snack here, Quest protein bars. So I'm gonna track that here. 1 bar is 150 calories, 23 carbs, 6 fat, 17 protein. And that's 1 bar that I'm gonna have. These are the best protein bars ever. Let me show you guys consistency. Beautiful. I didn't show you this last night, but I ended up having another protein bar. I just didn't hit record quick enough because I ate it. But that is the end of the full day of eating. As you guys can see, I've prepared my 5 favorite breakfast meals. If you guys want me to upload this video next, just leave the video with a gentle thumbs up and comment down below, Dr. Mike, make the next breakfast meal. And I feel like these breakfasts are going to get your day started the right way, also hitting 50 grams of protein. So let me know if you guys want that next by leaving a gentle thumbs up. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm officially 4 weeks out from my show. So if you guys want me to be uploading more, I'm happy to do that.